How is it possible to know that there are people out there that love you and still not feel loved? Now, I was very lucky. I was brought up in a safe, loving, warm family. My mum loved me. My dad loved me. My big sister loved me. My baby brother loved me. And my aunts and uncles, cousins, grandparents, they all loved me, and I felt loved. And then one day, I went to school and stepped out that safe and loving environment. And as I walked into the classroom, some of the children copied the way I looked and laughed at me. And the teacher said, "Don't do that, otherwise you might end up like him." Now, that's not a great thing for a 5-year-old to hear. It gives them the instruction that they're different, and their difference is bad. And you know what really hurt? People laughing at me. Now, I can't remember exactly after the event when this happened, but I developed a clown, a comedy act. So rather than have people laugh at me, they would laugh at my jokes, at my clowning around. And that way, it didn't hurt anymore. And I got so good at this comedy act that I could be on stage with a hall full of parents and have tears streaming down their eyes. And through secondary school, I continued my performing all the way into university, where I did stand-up comedy. I even supported Lenny Henry when he came to visit us at campus. And my comedy skill developed, which took me into radio, and then theatre, and then television, hence the TV gallery. And I have spent the last 25 years using comedy and entertainment in the TV programs and videos that I make. So I got really good at the comedy, and still I didn't feel loved. That was until around my 30th birthday. I was working on a comedy drama that I had written for kids. I was directing it, and I was working with some comic actors, helping them develop their character. And I had a realization. I'm not being me. I'm being a character. I'm being my act. And that's what people see. They don't see me. They see my comedy clown, my act. And I started going deep and look at why did I do it? And I went all the way back to my childhood and realized that yes, it was absolutely right that at a 5-year-old I protected myself whatever way I could. And I did that with my comedian, with my act. But did I really need it now as a 30-year-old? And who was I really protecting? Because people could see me, they could see that I was different, and they could still have their comments and their thoughts. What I was doing, I was protecting myself from myself. I was hiding behind my act, so I didn't have to look at the way I really was. And that's when the work started happening. And that's when I started feeling love. Letting go of my act, showing my vulnerability, yes, having tears, but also feeling loved as a result of it. Now, I remember a very wise teacher of mine used to talk to me about symphony orchestras. And he said, life is like a symphony orchestra. You have the high notes, the piccolos, the violins, and you have the low notes, the cellos and the double basses and the euphoniums. And without those top notes and bottom notes, there is no symphony. But if you want to protect yourself from the low notes, the pain, you're going to lose the high notes as well. And all you're going to have is clarinets and trumpets and violas. And that's not a full symphony. And that's not life. So if you truly want to feel loved, you have to be willing to cry and feel pain. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. But I would rather choose vulnerability with love than flat nothing, which how it was for 25 years. So, how is it possible to know that you're loved and not feel love? it's because you've created a protection, a barrier, an act around you to stop the pain coming in, but that barrier also stops the love. So let it go and start feeling.